police currency. Who's the MTN for? MTN for car. I know they hear me. 20 million. Who did got 20 million? The person who may come on this currency. And as I'm between you, I'm not going to pay. I said I'm not going to pay again. 20 million. 2,000. I'm come on here for next currency. Because this can go to a bit. I don't know. Good thing.
So the Honourable Minister, and of course you are here present as Deputy Minister of Lands, I'll save all the salutations and go straight to the petition. Petition to suspend, and maybe before I read, please place relevance on the words we have coined, because we mean every letter of this. This borders on largesse bequeathed unto us by our forefathers. So we are serious about this. Petition to suspend and deny the renewal of expired mining and corporate license held by South African entities in Ghana. We write to you today as lead conveners of the Ghana First Alliance, a coalition of patriotic citizens, civil society actors, and advocates for national dignity and state security. This formal petition is submitted in direct response to the brutal, unprovoked, xenophobic attacks targeted at Ghanaian citizens in South Africa. These violent atrocities have disrupted the peace, destroyed the livelihoods, and compromised the fiscal safety of our compatriots abroad. The severity of this humanitarian crisis is underscored by the recent emergency evacuation of over 1,000 Ghana citizens back to this country. While we commend the executive arm of government for its swift action in securing the lives of these our compatriots, we firmly assert that evacuation is, however, a temporary shield. The state must now respectfully deploy strategic, permanent, and institutional countermeasures to protect our national sovereignty and the dignity of Ghanaian people. Consequently, Honourable Minister, we are presenting the core economic and resource-based mandate of our movement. We demand that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources refuse, and emphasis must be placed on the word refuse in every measure that it intends connote. That you refuse to renew any, and it's any, so you don't renew some and leave some, any expired corporate or mining licenses for South African-owned companies operating within Ghana, specifically including Takwa mines. We have specifically included Takwa mines, and we've heard that some of our chiefs said they are ready to renew and all those ones. Maybe by extension, we'll use the opportunity to talk to our fathers who are custodian of the lands, that the Constitution of Ghana is clear, that when a natural resource is identified beneath the ground anywhere in Ghana, it belongs to all of us and not some few chiefs or youth somewhere. So that must also be put on record. So we demand that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources refuse to renew any expired corporate mining license for South African owned companies operating within Ghana, specifically Takwa mines, and any other South African corporate entities within our extractive and natural resource sectors. The Ghana First Alliance strongly urges the ministry to execute these licenses and economic sanctions based on the following compelling justifications. 1. Leverage for diplomatic accountability and reciprocity. International relations and resource diplomacy are built on the foundational principle of reciprocity. Ghanaian businesses and citizens operating in South Africa have faced systemic hostility, violence, and targeted economic displacement without adequate protection or intervention from the South African government. Ghana cannot continue to guarantee a safe, highly lucrative, and peaceful operating environment for major South African economic assets. And recently, we think that Honorable Ramaphosa is trying to be diplomatic. Where was Mr. President when our people were being brutalized? The envoys he has sent across Africa is late. And we believe that these actions must be taken. So, on economic reintegration and resource sovereignty, the sudden evacuation of over 1,000 Ghanaian citizens places an immediate financial and social burden on the state. These individuals have lost their livelihoods, properties, and stability. And our natural resources belong fundamentally to the people of Ghana. By withholding license renewals from foreign entities whose home country actively harms our people, the ministry creates an opportunity to restructure our resource ownership. It is time to look inward, reclaim our strategic setup, and prioritize indigenous ownership and resource sharing structure that can generate revenue to support the long-term economic reintegration of our displaced compatriots. We have other issues, but I'll proceed to read conclusion.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel news with Innocent. Thank you to all my amazing subscribers. You guys are the best. Today we're discussing a topic that has been generating intense conversations online and across parts of Africa. Reports and social media discussions suggest that some Ghanaian youth have been expressing concerns about the presence and activities of South Africans in Ghana. But what exactly is happening? Why are some young people speaking out? Who is affected by this debate? And what could this mean for relations between two of Africa's biggest economies? Stay tuned as we break down the facts, the reactions, and the possible implications. What started the discussion? In recent weeks, social media platforms have seen increasing discussions involving economic competition, business ownership, employment opportunities, and regional migration within Africa. Some young people argue that local businesses should receive greater support and protection. Others believe that African countries should continue promoting free movement, investment, and cooperation across borders. The debate has created mixed reactions among citizens, business owners, and community leaders. Why is this important? Ghana and South Africa are among the most influential economies on the African continent. Both countries maintain strong diplomatic relations and conduct significant trade and investment activities. Many South African companies operate in Ghana, while Ghanaians also live, work, and study in South Africa. Because of these connections, any public debate involving citizens from either country attracts widespread attention. Different opinions emerging. Supporters of stricter economic protection argue local jobs should prioritize citizens. Small businesses need stronger support. Governments should address economic frustrations. Others believe Africa's future depends on cooperation. Foreign investment creates opportunities. Unity is essential for economic growth. These differing views continue fueling discussions online. Who could be affected? Potentially affected groups include business owners, workers, investors, students, travelers, communities engaged in cross-border trade. Many experts stress that peaceful dialogue is necessary to avoid misunderstandings and preserve regional cooperation. As the conversation continues, many people are calling for calm discussions, mutual respect, and constructive solutions. What do you think? Should African countries prioritize local economic protection, or should they continue encouraging greater continental integration? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more breaking news and trending stories.